Hello, Tributes, and welcome to part 6 of the 195th Hunger Games. Before I begin, I would like to thank Christian Blanco and Laura McCouch for inspiring me to make this series with their very own Hunger Games writings. Thank you guys. Without you guys, this series would not exist. I would also like to thank Andrew McLean, as this part mostly uses his art, and so I'd like to thank him for that. Uh, Without you, I would have to use much lower quality art than I'm using now. A good example of lower quality art. Just look at the art I used to use in my videos, and then look at the art I use now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good comparatively, right? So, anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get into part 6 of the 195th Hunger Games. After the games, Charlotte and Nancy-Man were taken back to the accommodation tower. Here, Charlotte and Nancy-Man would meet up with each other and their mentors. Sadie and Phineas showed pride in Nancy-Man, surprised that Nancy-Man had managed to win without killing a single tribute. Meanwhile, Simon and Avia immediately knew something was wrong when Charlotte wouldn't talk to anyone. Charlotte socially distanced herself from everyone, not wanting to talk to anyone. Eventually, Kabea and Corinne approached Charlotte and sat with her. The pair then started to converse with Charlotte about their past in the games. This conversation actually helped Charlotte open up, as not only did these two careers kill more tributes than her, or victors kill more tributes than her, but the tributes they had killed were close friends of theirs. After a while of conversing with victors about their past experiences, Charlotte approached Nancy-Man, Sadie, Phineas, Simon, and Avia. Charlotte then opened up to the group, talking about her trauma in the arena. This resulted in Nancy-Man hugging Charlotte, telling her that everything was going to be alright. Charlotte wasn't happy that she had lost her grandpa, but she was glad she had survived in order to carry on the family legacy. The next night, Charlotte and Nancy-Man were taken to the interview stage where their victory interviews would be conducted. Before the interviews began, Charlotte gave Nancy-Man a hug to reassure him. Charlotte then complimented Nancy-Man on his yellow tux and how he actually managed to make it look good. This caused both to laugh a little before Nancy-Man complimented Charlotte on her light blue dress, causing Charlotte to smile. When Charlotte was called onto the stage, she gave Nancy-Man one final hug before walking out onto the stage. As soon as she got onto the stage, Mia and Tia complimented Charlotte's gorgeous light blue dress. This was caused Charlotte to blush a little before taking her seat. Mia and Tia would delve more in depth into how Charlotte felt after her victory. Charlotte would answer these questions with honest answers, saying that her games were very traumatic for her, even though she only killed 3 people as opposed to her friends such as Catherine, who had killed 5 tributes, Felt from 8, Jeremy from 10, Dove from 7, Fern from 7, and Brass from 1. All of Charlotte's kills were shown on the screen behind them as the interview went on. As the interview continued, the crowd noticed how sad Charlotte looked. About halfway to the interview's conclusion, Charlotte got up and excused herself, leaving the stage. Meanwhile, when Nancy-Man walked onto the stage, he was complimented on how he rocked his yellow tux. This caused Nancy-Man to smile and compliment the Flickerman twins on their gorgeous matching purple dresses. As his interview went on, Nancy-Man answered the questions asked of him with a lot of professionalism. He talked about how he had already begun to miss Finch and Lula. As for his other allies, he said he hadn't didn't miss them as much, considering he hadn't really gotten to know them as well as he did Finch and Lula. After a little while, Mia and Tia asked Anti-Man how he felt about his lack of kills, to which Anti-Man replied that he was glad he managed to win in a less traumatic way compared to other victors, even if it didn't give the capital much of a show. After Anti-Man's last question, he was taken off of the stage and taken backstage where Charlotte, Avia, Sadie, Simon, and Phineas were waiting for them. During the victory tour, Charlotte and Anti-Man were the causes of riots in Districts 15, 14, 11, 9, 8, 6, and 5. Citizens of District 9 burned down grain mills and attempted to take peacekeeper strongholds. Citizens of Districts 8, 11, 14, and 15 refused to work. Citizens of District 6 derailed many trains and blocked tracks towards the capital in order to block off trade routes. Finally, citizens of District 5 blew up windmills and the Quinquennial 9 solar thermal power plant itself. As these riots were occurring, Charlotte and Anti-Man were taken back to the capital in order to remain safe from these riots, while peacekeepers dealt with the riots and executed the rioters. Once these executions were complete, Charlotte and Anti-Man were allowed to return home to their home districts. After her victory, Charlotte would go on to start dating a boy named Alexander. Charlotte and Alexander would end up breaking up during Charlotte's 18th birthday because of Alexander's abusiveness. Eventually, Charlotte would move to the capital after her 20th birthday. When she moved to the capital, she got offers from many different men and women in the capital, but she ultimately decided on a girl named Cordelia Gall. Cordelia was a gorgeous 21-year-old girl with light brown hair and piercing blue eyes. Cordelia also had many tattoos and even an ear piercing and a pierced belly button. This pair would end up adopting 5 kids together, all of which being girls. None of these kids would end up competing in future games. Charlotte would also start attending the Victor Therapy group that was started by Angel after her games. Although Aesion was the only victor that could lead the group while Angel and Illuma were in hiding, Aesion helped Charlotte and the other victors attending to the best of his abilities until Angel and Illuma would return from hiding. Meanwhile, Anti-Man stayed in the capital. Even after he was allowed to return home, he eventually decided to actually call London. This pair would talk for a while, London sounding genuinely happy Anti-Man had survived. London would also apologize to Anti-Man for being so flirty with him before the games. London and Anti-Man would become close friends, something that neither of them truly expected. Anti-Man was loved amongst all the capital women, but he didn't plan on moving on from his late wife, Arani. As the years went on, Anti-Man had become one of the nicest victors, and like a grandfather to many. Anti-Man would eventually help Aesion and the others run their Victor Therapy group, helping all of the participating members as much as he could until his death of old age during the 228th Hunger Games at the age of 93. Anti-Man and Charlotte would remain close friends, occasionally hanging out outside of the Victor Therapy group. The pair could most frequently be caught laughing together about jokes being told by Anti-Man at the bar off of the Tribute Parade Street. So yeah, guys, that is the end of the 195th Hunger Games. If you guys enjoyed it, then be sure to slap that like button. The next video will be the 196th through 199th Hunger Games, so stay tuned for that. I would also like to say again, thank you to everybody who watched this video, as well as thank you to Christian Blanco and Lauren McCouch for giving me the inspiration to make this series, and Andrew McLean for making the art used in this series. So yeah, guys, with all that being said, I'm just gonna show you the victory posters and then we're done. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.